Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. I am both terrified and so excited for this video. I'm going to be reading for 24 hours straight. It is currently 6:03 a.m. on Friday, and I will be reading till 6:03 or 6 a.m. on Saturday. I might cheat off those 3 minutes and the minutes I'm talking to you, okay? I'm sorry. Look at me already trying to worm my way out of this. I've always wanted to do one of these videos because it sounds both so fun and so horrible, and that's just such a great combination to put on the internet. Feeling a little tired right now, which isn't a great sign, but that'll quickly change, my friends. I'm going to be doing hourly updates, which sounds excessive, but they're going to be brief, where I count how many books I've read. I think I can only read like 4 books in 24 hours. I don't know. We'll see. How many pages I've read, how much caffeine I've had. I need to have some right now. Also, I'm going to be wearing the Star All video because I just refuse to put makeup on this really bad zit for 24 hours. As for the books I'll be reading, I'm just going to mood read. These are the ones that are calling to me right now. I wish you could tell me which one to start with because I don't know. I don't know. All right, I think that's enough yapping. It's 6:05. I better get reading. It's happening! Hour 1 is complete. It is 7:01. I read 58 pages of Butcher and Blackbird. Back in, I don't know if it was October or November, I read 56 pages of this book and I wasn't feeling it at the time. I was PMSing. But I also, like, the insta love was too much for me in that moment. Because I was expecting it this time, it was much better and there was some action in here. A pervert was killed. Woohoo! So this is about 2 serial killers who kill serial killers and they have the hots for each other. Every year they have this competition to see who can kill someone, but in between, like, already a year has passed in just 100 pages. Technically 2 years have passed. In between these times, they're texting and like being friends. And she decides, I think 9 months after being his friend, that she's gonna surprise him in Boston. So she just goes to his restaurant. They both have normal jobs, which I think is really cool. She just shows up in this city and goes to his restaurant. I guess she hacked in and saw that he was working that day. So I guess she was just, I don't know what she was thinking is my problem. Because then she sees him. She gets so embarrassed, she starts to leave. She sees him hug a woman and she starts like, she walks off and she's crying because she's so embarrassed. And like, I get it. It was a wake up moment, like, oh my god, what am I doing here? But at the same time, like, why wouldn't you just text him? You text him every single day. You wouldn't be like, hey, I'm in Boston, let's have lunch. I don't know. We're about to get into another killing scene and I am excited. Hour 2 is complete. I only read 45 pages. I got distracted on Instagram. I can't believe it happened this early. I didn't even realize it. I almost started crying twice during this hour. Once from this tiny little scene in here, and once from watching a reel of Rory and Jess to The One by Taylor Swift. Oh my god. These two are so annoying to me because they can't just get together. And part of me understands it. Like, our girl here is very damaged and she is so scared because they're best friends now. The coffee is hit. I'm so sorry. I love that they're calling each other's best friends. Like, it's making my life right now. So now they're kind of scared to risk things. But what I'm so annoyed at is that they cannot open their mouths and communicate with each other. It's so annoying. There was this one moment though that she thought was romantic and then he's like, oh, I brought someone here for us to kill. And she was devastated and I was like, no! It's just so annoying because they're so clearly in love with each other. Just tell each other. That's what I always wonder about dual point of view. Also, I know I'm talking way too much. This is hour 2. We still have 22 more of these updates to go. But when there's dual point of view, we are so aware that each of the characters are in love with each other, which is why I kind of like one point of view, because the hesitation of a main character wondering if the other person actually likes them or not, that is so much riskier with one point of view because we don't know for sure. The only thing is, these are grown adults. Like, just have sex. Just do it. Also, I did read the cookies and cream scene. There is a whole page, maybe like 2 pages, of content and trigger warnings. And I've always been very curious about this line here. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. And then in parentheses, I'm not really. And I've heard people reference it before. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, which probably means I'm a little up. 3 hours in, I've read another 56 pages. We are like seconds away from a spicy scene. And I just don't know if it's too early for spice But I'm cringing a little bit. I am. I don't know why. I know I said I wanted them to bone, but it's very intense, and I kind of want the playful nature that was at the beginning of this, which is my complaint for a lot of romance. How it starts off fun and flirty, especially with like a fun book like this, and it gets very sentimental. I'm not a fan of that kind of switch, or even if it's very sentimental and it flips to being really fun and flirty. I like a consistent type of tone, so I don't know. I will say that I'm enjoying the action-packed scenes more in this book than them confessing and hiding their love for each other, which is no surprise to me because I am such a mafia romance fan, and this is giving me the same type of satisfaction that I get from a mafia romance. So I'm gonna continue. Update over. All right, it's now just about 10 a.m. I read another 58 pages. That was all just smut. A couple notes I took about the smut. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the lawnmower outside. I do not like the word channel being used in a smut scene. It's not for me. I also really hate braggy dirty talk. Like, I don't mind dirty talk in a book. Sometimes it's very fun. Sometimes it's cringe as and I think it's cringiest for me personally when it's braggy. Like on page 228 of our text, it says,
"Watch how well you take me."
I hate it when it's bossy and braggy. I don't know, that shit just turns me off. I would immediately, it's like reverse psychology or something. It's like, no, I don't wanna watch anything, and then I'd punch the person in the face. Oh, also, second caffeine starting now, Dr. Pepper. The thing is, things are way too happy right now. I feel like something's gotta happen, unless it's just more smut for the rest of this book. I mean, maybe that'll happen. It wouldn't be the worst thing, but I want something really mafia-esque to happen. Some dangerous action scene. It's so weird because I don't usually like action in books, but when it's romance, for some reason, it's so good for me. I'm gonna finish my breakfast and hopefully finish my book in the next hour. Let's go. All right, I've been reading for 5 hours now, and I just finished my first book. I read 61 pages, obviously flew through them. This ending was great. I kind of wish I was filming while I was reading because there's something that a character says in here to another character. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I wish I could talk to you about it. I literally gasped because it hurt me. It hurt me. Oh my God. If you have this book on hand, it's on page 289. The words hit me like a slap. Those words that were said. That's what I'm gasping at. Oh my God. This is so much fun, and even though it's not my perfect romance, and there were some cringy things in here that were funny, it wasn't ever frustrating, which I adore. I loved how gory this was. I loved how smitten these two were with each other. It was a little intense for my liking, but I had so much fun, and I have to read the second one. I think it came out this month. I don't know. I'm not gonna read it right now, but I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5, maybe a 3.75. I don't know. Definitely a fun time. Now I'm about to start my second book. I think I'm gonna go with Annie Bot. This is by Sierra Greer. It's very short. This is about a female robot. She is made to be the perfect girlfriend for her human owner, Doug. I feel like this is gonna be so depressing, and I cannot wait. I can't wait! Also, I have a horrible headache right now, so I took some Tylenol. Let's hope that goes away. It's now noon, and oh, guys, I am wanting to kill this man named Doug. Oh my God, I hate him. The thing is, this is all a metaphor, right? And he's just a man. And God, I've only read 40 pages, but like within the first chapter, Doug, I want him dead. He's not even like a murderer, or, you know, he's not hurting her oh, but it's just so wrong. I'm not gonna be able to get over this one. I want to protect Annie. I want to take her, and I want to be her friend. I want to be her mother. Obviously, this is sci-fi, but we are getting a little bit more explanation about these robots. There's like 3 different types. Of course, they're only women. Sorry, my female rage is at an all-time high right now because I'm about to get my period. You didn't need to know that, but whatever. I'm getting so pissed off. Anyway, the 3 types of robots. There's an Abigail, which is like a robot for cooking and cleaning, which is what Annie was at first. Then there's like a cuddle buddy. I think that's what it's called. A cuddle bunny. And you can guess what that's for. That's for the girlfriend, aka sex. And then there's a nanny for like if you have a baby, to help with the baby. Of course, the horrible men are probably f***ing those girls too. This is exactly the kind of story I want though, because it's going to be discussing things that are created for another person's purpose. What kind of identity do they deserve? What kind of treatment do they deserve? Do they deserve to have their own life? And you know what? We all know the answer is yes. It is so interesting to me though, even just in real life, not with robots, obviously, I've never met a robot, but how people treat inanimate objects or how people treat things that don't matter to them. It shows so much of their character, and we're gonna get a lot of that in this, obviously. It just makes me livid. Oh, there's someone looking at me through the window. So yes, Annie's just living with Doug. She's his cuddle bunny. And then he randomly brought home another robot, an Abigail, for the cooking and cleaning. And sometimes sex, I'm sure. And it's so funny because Annie's upset. Like, she's genuinely feeling jealous. She actually looks up jealousy on the internet. She says she has looked up jealousy and learned it is not an attractive trait, but it is interesting that she's feeling it. I hope Doug, I don't know if I just want her to leave Doug and try to live a life of freedom, or if I want her to kill him. I don't know which one would be better for her. It's taking me slower to read this. I don't know if it's like the text size, the page size, but oh my gosh, I am so invested in this story already. This is gonna be great, but like so frustrating, but also it is a little funny because, and it's sad that it's funny because Annie doesn't know that much, and so she is kind of childlike, which makes it even more up. I just want to strangle this man. Should I have some more caffeine? I don't know. All right, it's now about 1. I've only read 30 pages, which is crazy. I'm now on page 71. Also, apparently there are male robots. So I was just being a little hot-headed in the moment. Okay, I'll calm down. Nothing much has changed in my book. Doug's being a dick. Annie's still kind of jealous of this other robot. She's not like mad at the robot. I think she's just hurt by Doug liking the robot. But I just want them to join forces, you know? But man, I'm just enjoying this book, which is, it's weird to say, but Annie! All right, it is 2:08. I have read 41 pages and things have taken a turn that I was not expecting, and I'm liking what's happening. It looks like I'm about halfway through and I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't even think I read the rest of this flap. Yeah, I guess I can't tell you shit. Sorry. I feel like up to this point, I've read, I think 8 hours now. Up to this point, it hasn't felt like a chore or anything. Firstly, because the books I've been reading are really fun, but also I would have usually been working during this 8 hours. So this feels like a treat, but right now it's 2, which is when I usually finish work. So I wonder if now it's gonna start feeling a little bit like work. I don't know. We're gonna see. All right, it's 3 o'clock now. I read 39 pages. No updates really. I'm scared of what's gonna happen. Also, I don't ever want to stop reading this book. I'm loving it. All right, another hour gone. I read 39 pages, cried my freaking little eyeballs out. I can't. I feel like this book is trying to speak directly to me. It's just quite a read for me. I don't know how it's gonna end, but I feel like no matter what happens, I can think of it objectively and just be thankful that I read this little book. All right, it's exactly 5 o'clock and I just finished Annie Bot like a second ago. This has got to be 5 stars. I couldn't put it down. Obviously, I'm doing this challenge, so I wasn't allowed to put it down. But I just, I love everything that this book is discussing. I don't know that I love the ending. Like, I like what happened, but it did feel a little rushed to me, but I also don't care at all. There was a part in here where Annie talks about some of her favorite books or novelists. Annie gravitates toward novels by women: Sally Rooney, Britt Bennett, Emily St. John Mandel. And I have a book recommendation for Miss Annie Bot. It is The Echo Wife. I think she should find some inspiration in here, if you know what I mean. This was so good. This is one of those books that hit me so personally that I feel like I need to take the rest of the night to think about it, but I can't do it. Also, I'm starving. So I'm going to go drive and get some sushi, and I can't wait. I just had sushi last weekend. Can't be stopped. The question is, what do I read? Because I can listen to an audiobook while I'm driving, but what's it gonna be? Of these books that I mentioned at the beginning of my video, I have Cackle, Slewfoot, and Natural Beauty on audio, but I also have the audiobook for Diavola, which just came out, and I kind of want to read that. This looks like a historical horror novel, but it's a story about a family who goes on vacation to Italy, and I think it's present day. I think the place that they stay at is haunted, but I feel like I read somewhere that this is funny. A wickedly funny vacation gothic. I'm gonna try it out. All right, it's a little into my catch up. It is 6:14 p.m. I got my sushi and I'm gonna stuff my face as I try to update you. Also, another can of Coke. This is Dr. Pepper. I got 15% into Diavola and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that I hate starting with only an audiobook. I like to see names, I have trouble remembering them, and I like to be able to like reference back really quick, at least while starting a book. I don't know if it was that or the fact that I was driving and I hate driving, so I was so concentrated on not dying that I couldn't really pay attention too much to the book. So I feel like a lot of the stuff at the very beginning totally went in one ear and out the other. But I think I finally understand some things. There's gonna be some family drama. I think our main character is supposed to be like a train wreck, which I'm a fan of. And also, none of this family is like completely villainous. I hate it when there's just a straight up asshole. I like my assholes to be nuanced. Lucky for me, I do have the ebook because I got the arc of this, but never read it. So I think while I eat, I'll listen and read visually, and maybe then I can catch on a little bit more. Also, the train wreck situation that our main character found herself in, it was 12 years ago. She was 22 years old and she stayed out all night and hooked up with someone. Her family freaked and called like the police saying that she was missing, and then they got mad when she came back. I don't feel like that is that big of a deal to hold a grudge for 12 years, but I don't know. I feel like maybe there's something she forgot or something she's not telling us. Intrigue, intrigue. She's also seen a couple of mirages, a couple of shadowy figures, heard a couple of voices, so things are getting interesting. We'll see how this goes. Let me stuff my face. All right, it is 7 p.m. Hair has gone up and I am feeling tired. I think the sushi, like how much sushi I got, was probably a bad idea because I could take a nap right now. So I'm going to fight that. It's only 7 p.m. Okay. I gotta be honest, this is feeling like a 3-star right now. So I'm really hoping things pick up. I'm not like dying to read this, and it's making me sad because the last 2 books were really readable. This one isn't bad. It just feels like a haunted house story. Like haunted things are gonna happen. I feel it being written right in front of me. But who knows? I'm only 26% in, so things could take a really interesting turn of events. I guess we'll both be witness to that. I don't want to stop reading this just because the annoying competitive part of me wants to add another book to this, and I'm already 26% in. Like I might as well finish this. Plus I have to eventually review this on NetGalley, so let's just do it. Let's do it. Also, you know how I said that none of the family were just plain evil? That's still true, but our main character Anna's brother's boyfriend is on the trip and he's an asshole, and I don't know why the brother's dating him. Like there's got to be something going on because the brother's really nice and funny, and this guy seems both boring and pretentious and like mean. I think they had to have one of these characters because like maybe someone's gonna die, it's gonna be him, and we're not gonna be sorry. It is frustrating that everyone seems to be kind of dumb because multiple people have told this family, do not go in the tower. Guess what they did? Yeah. Also, I realize we have 11 hours to go. We are over halfway, but not by much. And I don't think my body has realized yet what I'm going to be attempting tonight, because right now it just feels like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed in a few hours. No, I'm not. Also, they're in Italy, so they're talking a lot about wine, and I want some wine so bad. But if I have a single glass, I will get so tired. It like game over. So no wine for me. All right, it's 8 o'clock. Also, I can't tell if you can even see that. It's 8 o'clock. I have another cup of coffee here because I am getting sleepy. I've gotten to 40% of Diavola, so it's about 42 pages. Things are getting a little creepy. And if it were later, I think I'd actually be a little spooked. Okay. The thing that's making me more intrigued, also more creeped out, is that there are some small children in here. I forget how old they are, but they seem to be in elementary school. And I'm just so scared something's gonna happen to them. They're not creepy, but they see things that most of the other adults aren't seeing. But I am so scared these kids are gonna get hurt or get scared. I feel so bad. That is kind of making me more connected to the story because I want to protect them. All right, it is 9:01 and I'm kind of invested. I need to know what's happening. It is very creepy. And for once, our main character has actually spoken up, but no one's listening to her. And it's very frustrating. Everyone's lost a day. Like no one knows what happened on Thursday. And this person is actually a character, which I would have noticed if I had read this little blurb. It says, welcome to Villa Ticola. She's been waiting for you. And I simply need to know more. I simply do. Oh, I think that was yawn number 1. All right, I'm updating 5 minutes early because things have taken a turn and I'm very intrigued. I don't want to say anything, but I'm very curious as to what the hell is going on. Also, I think I've reached a little bit of slap happy, which is depressing because it's only 10. I was hoping for a slap happy at 2 a.m. to help get me to the last 4 hours, but it seems to have awoken right now. So I'm gonna take a shower. I am gonna put makeup back on, like mascara, because my body will not let me sleep if I have mascara on my eyeballs. So as a preventative measure, I will be putting mascara back on. It is now 11 p.m. This is when it's gonna start to be tough. I've been so impressed with myself all day. Like, oh my God, it doesn't even feel like work. It doesn't feel like a chore. I'm having so much fun. This is so great. It's still pretty fun. It's still pretty great. The book is kind of dragging on. It's interesting because it feels like 2 different books, which is fun, but I kind of can't wait to move on. This is, I don't know. I feel like this is not the kind of book to read in one day. You tell me, read this in a day and see if it's okay for you. Good morning. It's officially Saturday. Oh my gosh. We have T-minus 6 hours to go. I need to get myself a monster right now. Also, it's kind of creepy how perfectly I've somehow timed all of this. I finished my books like right before it's time to check in. Anyway, I'm not sure what to rate this book. The pros are, this was creepy. Like there were parts of this that were truly creepy, and having my feet touching the ground was like a big no-no while I was listening to some of this. Also, I did switch to the audiobook and it was very good. I kind of liked the switch in things. I don't want to give too much away. Setting was great. There were even things like I want to go back and read just to like put everything together. But I do feel like this dragged on, which is weird because it's just shy of 300 pages. There was also like a cringy monologue and the character goes ahead and says it like, I'm trying to do my monologue right now. And I think that was supposed to make it less cringe, but somehow it just tripled the effect. I thought the family drama was pretty good. And you know what's so funny is I went into this thinking like, okay, yeah, they're annoying, but they do love each other. This family sucks. But it wasn't like displeasing to read. It was kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna land at a 3.5 just because it didn't really like grab my attention like in a oh my God kind of way. I also think I'm doing myself a disservice after reading a 5-star rating. Like, I don't know if that was the right move, but I can't help it. Anyway, I need to start reading because that's what this video is for. And I'm trying to time this perfectly. So looking at like the page counts, I have some shorter books. I really want to go here, but I think because it's only 250 pages, I'm gonna have like an awkward 2 hours left or hour. And like, what am I gonna finish in an hour? I think the page count for a perfect ending here is gonna be the Thursday Murder Club, which I'm scared of. I've been so excited to read this book and I don't know if I'm gonna be so tired that it's going to make it less fun. The thing that has me thinking this is the right idea though, is that the other day I started reading this, it gave me so much energy. It's so quippy and witty and conversational. Like, it's so fun. And I think that's what I'm gonna need. Plus, I haven't read a true mystery without like fantasy or things like that in a long time, so I'm very curious to jump into this genre specifically. But I feel like this is gonna be a new favorite. Oh, why am I saying that? I don't know. I don't even truly know what this is about. I bought it based on like hype. I think there's like elderly people in here and they're solving a murder mystery. Also, they're all British, so I had to like put that voice in my head. It makes it sound way cooler. I've seen people cry at this series, which makes me think that some of them are going to eventually pass away, which I don't know if I can handle that. Hopefully in the first book, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I think I'm most excited for the tone of this book, but also this friendship. Okay, like this was so the right move. I'm already more energized than I was the entire time I read this book. I'll see you in an hour. I got some reading to do. All right, it's 1 a.m. and I only read 33 pages. I might have to switch the audiobook just to keep up. Also, every single chapter, there's like a different, it's not even a POV because it's third person, but it's a new perspective every single chapter, and like some of the perspectives seem so random. We started with Joyce, who is one of the 4 of the Thursday Murder Club. She has a journal and hers is very, I just want to read her journal. That's all I want this book to be. But of course, I'm only 33 pages in, so I'm sure I'll grow to love the way that this is written. I'm so sure I had something else to tell you, but like I cannot remember it, so I'm just gonna keep reading. I think it was to introduce you to the other members of the Thursday Murder Club. Okay, so my eyes are fully closed. Wake up, wake up. We have Joyce, Elizabeth, Ibrahim, and Ron. Also, I think there might be a potential romance between Joyce and Ron. Like, I'm already getting the vibes. And how fucking cute would that be? All right, y'all. It's 2 a.m. I'm so tired, but I'm still in good spirits. And I'm in trouble because I already love these characters. I was able to read 50 pages because of the audiobook. I'm listening and reading because I honestly need the help concentrating. But I've also noticed that the audiobook and the text are different. At first, I thought that they were switching out some British terms because there are a couple things like in here it says solitaire, like the computer game, the card game, but in the audiobook, what did it say? It said something about like prudence or patience, something like that. I don't know. I'd never heard of it. So I thought maybe it was just British. But then there are times when it's like on this page, on page 84, the last sentence says, also, I'll tell you about Cornelius, who we liked. And in the audiobook, it said, also, next time, I'll tell you about Cornelius, who we liked. And then like one time it changed from 2 to 2 p.m. I wonder what's going on. And it's kind of making me pay more attention, honestly. Anyway, that's like really not important at all. I just wanted to let you know. A lot has happened. There has been a murder. There's 2 really sketchy dudes. One of them is killed. And so our obvious choice of suspect is the other sketchy dude because they had just had an argument. So we know that it's not going to be him. There's no way. The most intriguing part is this man is bludgeoned in his kitchen by a wrench, and the killer puts down a photograph, and there's 3 men in the photo. The guy who died, some other guy I don't think we know, and Ron, one of the Thursday Murder Club, his son, who we met and who seems to be really nice. He's like a famous fighter or something. We know he can't be the killer though, because they wouldn't have introduced that suspicion so early on. I have a suspicion. I want to say who it is, but if I was right, I will bleep it out. I think it's... Okay? I don't know. That's just my initial thought. I have absolutely nothing to back me up on that. Just a vibe. You know what's interesting though is that the police person brought up a point that I didn't even think about, is that it's not just 3 people that are suspicious. Those 3 people in the photograph, including the dead dude, someone had to have taken that photograph. That didn't even occur to me. That's why I'm not an investigator. Also, there was a scene in here with this old lady named Penny who used to be in the Thursday Murder Group, but I don't think she is like conscious anymore. I don't know if she's in a coma or what. Her husband visits her and he stays from like 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. every single day, and he holds her little hand, and I'm gonna cry. It's too sweet. I can't handle it. I cannot handle it. The 2 characters I feel closest to are Joyce, because we're getting her journal entries. She's just so fucking cute. I love her. And then Elizabeth, she is this sassy lady, and she is just so charismatic and so sassy that it's captivating. It is. But I know that Ron and Ibrahim, they're gonna have their moment to shine as well. So I can't wait for that.
Beauty in a black dress, stranger in the crowd, shaking like a leaf on a tree. That's me.
It's a little before my check-in, but I've just had a devious thought about who could be the murderer. Oh, it would be wonderful. Ooh, it's a devious thought. I'll let you know if this guess is correct or not right here. Am I a genius? Probably not. All right, it is 3 a.m. I'm waking up. I knew this would happen. I get to a certain point and then I wake up, and I might not even go to bed at 6. I'm just saying. Anyway, I had to stop mid-chapter, but the inconsistencies between the audiobook and the physical book is actually making this more fun. It's making me think that I have to solve an extra mystery because there are complete sentences missing in the audiobook. Oh, I've only seen that happen once, but it was annoying. And then just now, the crew is going over information about this murder, like specific facts that are very relevant to the case. And there's a complete, oh my god, just listen to this. In the book, it says, Ventham double-crossed Tony Curran the day before Curran died. In the audiobook, it says, Ventham double-crossed Tony Curran the day that Curran died. That's a whole difference of a day. What? Anyway. So yes, I'm having a lot of fun making up some mystery in my head. Let me quickly tell you my thoughts before I go back to reading. First of all, I forgot to say in the last update that there have been several laugh out loud moments. I think the funniest moments is when there's more than 2 people together because they're all just interrupting each other and it's the funniest shit. And then I think the only other note I have is that this is so nice and cozy. It's like a perfect choice. Perfect choice to end the evening when I'm like snuggled up on the couch, eating my cookies, drinking my coffee, which I think is hit. Guys, I'm feeling it. I'm fighting my eyelids now. It's just about 4 a.m. Oh. I think I have to get off the couch. It wasn't a good idea to make my nest here. It really wasn't. I need to go sit in like my office chair or something. I think having the audiobook and the physical book though is the good thing to do. I feel drunk right now because if I just listen to the audiobook, it starts like my brain can't process it, and if I only read the book, my eyes start drooping. So I will tell you about an inconsistency I found. Maybe it'll wake me up. The new mystery between audiobook versus physical book. The audiobook says, come on then, you can drive. The physical book says, come on then, I will drive. Like, why did they change that? They're trying to fuck with me. Uh-oh, the paranoia has set in. You know what I thought about a couple hours ago and I just thought about now? Last week, all of my footage was like glitchy and I couldn't use it because the sound was like bzz, bzz, and there were like lines across the screen. I swear to God, if any of this footage is like that, I am going to just die. I'll just die and they will have to solve my death. I'm gonna stop thinking about that. All right, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been up almost 24 hours. In 8 minutes, it will be 24 hours. But I still have 1 hour of reading to do. And I think the adrenaline, or at least like the excitement of only having 1 more hour is going to fuel my energy. Also, there's already been roosters howling outside. So that makes me feel like the morning is here. I have had to pace a little though to keep myself alert. And I have a secret suspicion that my devious thought is right. I really think it might be, but like who knows? And that's really fun. I think the coolest thing about this book is like I don't care who did it. It's just nice to listen to. It's nice to read. It's fun. It's quippy. It's busy. It makes me feel less alone in the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. You know, I need to go. I finished my book. It's 5:54. I'm gonna call this 24 hours. I made a mistake. I thought like the last hour would energize me. I sat on this couch and I went cross-eyed trying to keep my eyes open. I cannot wait to wash my face and slip into my nice clean sheets. My pillow's gonna be nice and cool on my face. Oh my God. I had so much fun with this. I love the characters. This is gonna be a situation where I don't give a what's happening. I'm gonna enjoy myself. The thing is though that because I don't really care about the mystery. Also, I was wrong. I thought for a second I was gonna be right about maybe both of them, but no, I was wrong. I did have like a fleeting thought about what happened.
Sure, Jan.
But I was like, nah, Allie, you're being crazy. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see what plot twists this author has going forward in the series. I also can't wait to go back to these people when I'm more alert. But at the same time, for a mystery I didn't care that much about, they really went on explaining it. I am not one for the monologues. I'm not one for the big explanation. I kind of like a little mystery to stay a mystery. That's not always true. Sometimes I'm annoying and I'm just like, they didn't explain it. I'm still confused. I'm annoying. I'm hard to please, but there's a little bit too much explanation at the end of this. Also, I was nodding off. So maybe that has more to do with it. I still have to give this a 4-star though. I had so much fun, especially for the amount of, I can't make my sentences make sense anymore. The lack of sleep that I had while I read this and the amount of fun that I had, the equation equals 4 stars. So I did it. I stayed up 24 hours. I finished 3 books. Let me see if I can recall all this. Was this a 3.5? 5 stars. Oh my God. I kind of want to reread this. Diavola, 3.25, and then a 4-star. All of these ratings might change by my wrap up that I'm gonna have to do in like 2 days. But right now, I'm going to bed. I also have how many pages I read up here because I cannot do that math, and how many caffeine drinks I had. I am so happy I did this though, and I love doing the 1 hour updates. Honestly, I think that's what kept me accountable and kept me more alert. For anyone that's contemplating doing a 24-hour reading vlog. I don't know, I held up my books right then. But anyone contemplating this, I feel like the trick is you just tell yourself this is your only option for the day, because it didn't feel like a chore at all. It felt like such a fun day. And this has been a video I've been putting off. Like I said I would do it, and then the day comes and I don't do it. So just start and don't do anything besides read. Like, just don't give yourself another option. It was way easier when I started doing it than I thought it was gonna be. Anyway, I think I should get some sleep now. I'm really hoping this footage works. Oh my God, I would die. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and I don't know what other question to ask. I feel like I have something in my mind that I can't get out, but I guess I'll see you later. Goodbye.